Hi, Paddy, superstar DJ. You've probably heard of me. No, you probably haven't heard of me because I'm not a superstar DJ. But I'm going to tell you about an awesome app called Launchpad from Novation, also from Ampify Music, which is quite popular and very, very useful. What is it? Well, it's a music making application, and you've got this huge grid, 8 columns of 6 loops. So column 1, column 2, etc. right across to the right. And it's really useful for making original music. I'll take these off for now, put them on again in a moment. If you're a filmmaker like me, or anyone that needs a piece of vaguely original music that they don't have to pay for, Launchpad makes it really easy to make your own. So rather than hunting around for a piece of music that matches the kind of video or piece of audio recording, whatever you're creating, and trying to find something that's the right length and the right speed and the right feel, you can get this. It's got loads of preset sets of loops, and you can just create your own. You need a 3-minute piece of music, you just play with this for 3 minutes, and there's your 3-minute piece of music, all recorded. And it's also good just for playing with, almost like a mindfulness session. You can just sit down with this and make music on your own for a few minutes, and takes your mind off things and sounds good, and it's very satisfying, whether you're a musician or not. I also use this for performance sometimes. I've got some songs that are just fitted to loops, and I can put my own loops into this, which I'll show you how to do later. That isn't free. You've got to pay just a few pounds for that feature, but that's well worth doing if you want to make some really original music that nobody else plays at all. So, how does it work? Well, we've got these 8 columns, like I said. So column 1 here is all these green circles are drums. So I just press Bliss Urban. I need to put my headphones back on again. There we go. So that's starting to play. And you can see a dot going around the circle. And that's showing the sort of count. So when it reaches the top, it starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3. So if you know music or like dancing to dance music, you'll know that music is divided into beats. And dance music is usually in multiples of 4. So 16 beats is like a phrase, which kind of feels about right. And from this column 1, I can choose any of these drum beats, and there's a load of different ones, all kind of matching each other. They're all kind of UK garage style, because this whole set is called Urban Bliss. And I can choose one or the other. But if you'll notice, as I'm switching between them, they're not switching straight away, because this is cleverly waiting until it fits in time with the music, in time with the beats. So even if you've got no sense of rhythm at all, you can just dab away at this and the drums will stay in time. So that's a really good start. That said, since these are kind of loops of 16, it's best to kind of switch when that little dot is just about to reach the top. Otherwise the rhythm will go slightly out, and when I start adding the musical loops, you'll particularly notice that, because the bass lines and the keyboard lines all kind of really need to start at the same spot. So I'm going to beat 1 of the 16. It'll probably make sense as you play with it. So as you can see, I can only play 1 at a time of this first column, but I can add something from the second column. So I can play these 2 at once, and the same goes across the thing. I can add bass line. This is the 3rd column, is all bass lines, and then we've got keyboards here. And like I was saying earlier on, you might well be noticing that this bass line isn't properly matching up with the music, and the dots that go round aren't matching up either, so the bass lines just reach the top but Pave Cheeky here has only just reached the top there, so those are out of time and not sounding right. But the rhythm is still, you know, matching. It's just the phrases don't match. So you need a bit of a musical sense to get the hang of that. I've been joined by Cat. Excellent. Meow, meow, meow. You want some food, don't you? All these O's, all these circles here are musical loops. So we've got some vocal ones on this. So I might want to add the drums just as that's reaching to the top. There we go. Oh, you've got to do that DJ hand movement, haven't you? Then that's the bass. Hello, Cat. Okay, you may notice there is also some pads here with lines on. Now those are one-shot samples, so those play just one time, they don't start again. This set's got lots of nice vocal effects. That's the kind of how to play it, but there's some extra stuff which is good fun. So there are filters over on the right. The filter option opens up these sliders at the bottom. I just leave the tops going just to demonstrate this. As I slide these up or down, it sweeps the frequency of it up and down. And if you've heard any DJ music, you've probably heard that effect used a lot. I don't use it very much myself. Next one down is volumes. So we can adjust the volume of like the drums, for example. And since my computer is multi-touch, I can, not my computer, my tablet, I can adjust lots of these at once. It seems to be coping with a cattail on the tablet very well. So that's great. And the last one is effects. These are lots of fun. Oops. So these various circles along here are kind of beat repeaters. So if I hold down this one, you can hear it repeating a beat. The next one along does the same thing but twice as fast. Next one along, twice as fast again. And the last one does it twice as fast again. And again, the app cleverly keeps things in time. As long as you've got some inkling of when to press it, then it will help you out and keep it all in good time. The last one is triplets. You probably need to be a musician to understand. And that controls that. Next one we've got is a flanger, which I'll demonstrate on the vocals. You've heard that effect, haven't you? That really psychedelic effect. Then we've got some volume stutterers, which cut the volume quickly. And the next one along does it. You've heard that in house music, haven't you, and rave music. Let's get some more stuff going. This one down here sweeps the frequency, makes it all muffled, and then brings it back up again. And the next one makes it twice as fast. and these all work in time with the music. However fast or slow you're playing, they always stay in time, so that's really useful. This one here gradually pushes out all the bass and then brings it back again. This one takes out all the treble, and then when you let go, it brings it all back again. There we go, another classic DJ effect. We've got some echoes, and a slower echo. And lastly, we got the record start. I love that. That's really useful. So that's how you play it. It's very simple to play, and you don't need to be a super musician. And we've got some controls here, so we can slow it down. Very clever, but you can hear that the sound quality gets worse the slower or faster you go. But you can do that Fatboy Slim style, slowing it down style, and then bringing it up again. All these recordings were recorded at a sort of natural rate, so playing them back at their original speed is always best to get the best quality sound. So the reset is 124 is the original speed for this. As well as changing the speed, you can change the pitch. So if you wanted to play along with this on whatever instrument you like, you can do that. But again, it sort of messes around with the quality of the sound a bit, so and if your tablet or phone is multi-touch, then you can press lots of things at once. And if you swipe across a row, it just turns on everything on that row. So that's how you play it. But what if you don't really like dance music? There's a whole lot of different sets of samples you can use. Some are free, some you've got to pay for. There seems to be like a premium membership where you can actually pay a monthly fee and download anything you want. But I haven't gone for that. Instead, I've paid a few pounds for the ability to add my own sounds, because this doesn't have to be necessarily used for dance music. You could use it for any sounds you wanted. And I've created what I call the Hipster Loop. You'll have watched videos using this kind of music. Oh dear. Yeah, it's horrible, but I needed to do this for a piece of work I was working on. So, how did I make this? Well, first I had to record all these loops, so I set my sequencer up. I use Reaper, the digital audio workstation, and I've set it to a particular tempo. I looped 16 beats, and I recorded in a whole pile of guitar bits and drum bits and all kinds of things as separate tracks. Then I could quite easily tell it to export all those tracks as separate files. Then I uploaded them all to my Google Drive, because this will talk to various iCloud, Google Drive, various cloud-based storage systems. And then I pressed the pad button. There's also, while I'm here, there's a paid for function here, which I should have bought at the same time. I could have bought all the functionality all at once, but instead I thought I'd save money and just pay a few pounds for the pad option. But I'd recommend paying for the effects one as well, and then you can actually create your own, to some extent, create your own effects like I showed you earlier. You can customize them and choose which ones appear and what they do a bit more. But here we go. So let's say I wanted to add a new sound to one of these pads. So I press the pad, nothing on it at the moment, and I can choose I guess there's a little picture of a person down the bottom right. There are various loops here. Of course, there are all the loops available as part of this, so you can use any of the loops that are already existing, and there's tons of them. So I could add any of these to my Hipster Loop set. And actually I've taken a cymbal from somewhere else and a different drum beat from somewhere else as well. But I'm going to use some of my own, and you can click the plus and choose browse, and then you can browse through all the sounds in whatever cloud drive you're connected to, and you can press them and select them and import them into the application. I've already done that now, so I won't add any more. Okay, so back to locations. Yeah, so here are all the locations I can look at: iCloud, iDrive, iCloud Drive, Google Drive, and also files on my iPad. So you could record things in one app and then bring them into here as well. I'll just cancel that because my sounds are here. So, what shall I bring in? Yeah, let's bring in this whistle. So that's imported at 90 BPM, 90 beats per minute, because that's what my original recording was done at. In fact, I'm going to go for the squeaker. The squeaker's fun. Okay, so that's added. And now I've got some options here. I can set it as a loop, or a one-shot, or a re-trigger. The loops are those circle things, like the drums and the basses and all the keyboards that I showed you. So they play, once you start them playing, they keep going round and round and round and round. So that's simple enough. I could also set the volume and the pan for these as well, so where they'll be in the stereo and how loud they'll be compared to everything else, which can be useful. But I would recommend setting a normalised volume for everything before you upload them, so getting them all the same level of loudness, basically. I can set it to a re-trigger, so you can see with the loop and the re-trigger, I get choices for the pad sync here. That's what I was saying earlier. When you press the pad, it kind of waits until the nearest set of 4 beats or the nearest set of 8 beats before it starts it. If I set that to 0, the loop would play as soon as I pressed it, which would mean I could start playing it totally out of time with the other loops, which would sound really rubbish, but there could be situations where you might want that. For example, if you're using this just for sound effects, if you wanted a kind of drone loop sound effect, you could turn on, like, I don't know, the sound of traffic. You could press that, have the pad sync set to off. It would start straight away, and then you could add the sound of rain, or thunder, or voices. So this would make a really good sound effects generating app for something like a pantomime or a play or an art installation, all kinds of things you could use that for. I'll leave that at 4. So the loop and the re-trigger, the re-trigger just plays once, the loop goes round and round. Very self-explanatory. The one shot, you can see the pad sync options have gone because there is no pad sync, because it just plays as soon as you press it, which I'll demonstrate. So that's been added. I'll press pad again to turn off this pad editing mode. And now let's put these drums going. Oh dear no. So now when I press the squeaker, it just plays as long as I hold down the button. Whereas where I've got it here, I've got it as a one shot. So it plays on the beats like that. Whereas this one might be fun for rave and stuff. I think that's basically it. I can go back and edit any of my pads that are there as well. I can change the sound that they use. I can press the delete button, which is just to the right of the volume control. I'm not going to press it because I don't want to delete this. Yeah, not really much else to say, apart from that this is just a really useful app. I have a lot of fun playing with it. I just sometimes just sit down and play music to myself with the headphones on just for fun. If you want to go on a boring train journey and have something to entertain yourself as you go, this is really good. It's a bit more than just passively listening to music. You can actually create your own music, and that's good for the brain. It gives you a bit of cognitive exercise. So yeah, install Launchpad and have a go, create your own music, or working with stuff people have made. It'll help you get a sense of rhythm. It's just lots of fun. So thanks for watching, happy music making, and yeah, subscribe and like my videos if you like them. Bye.